Are you someone who is confused about a relationship? Are you someone who is about to get into a marriage? Are you someone who is planning a marriage but had a couple of, relationship issues in the past? Or are you someone who is like a teenager, just fresh out of the college or university and wants to be into a very serious relationship, but confused that how exactly this actually works? So in today's video, I'm going to help you to understand more in detail about your relationships and how it is directly proportional to your bad habits. Interesting, isn't it? Let's get started. So welcome back. My name is Anand. I frequently make videos on bad habits, addictions, relationships, mind, meditation, and overall, happy lifestyle. So today's topic is relationships. I get a lot of clients and a lot of queries about I want to be into a love relationship, or I want to get married and I want to have a love marriage. Or some people say that, I am interested in, an arranged marriage, but I'm thoroughly confused that how exactly it works. So I'm going to tell you one story. Recently, I've been active on Quora, and I mostly answer a lot of questions in terms of, smoking, drinking, addictions, and anxiety, hypertension, overthinking. But I also get a lot of questions in terms of relationship, that I wanna be into a love marriage, and I don't know, I am not able to find the right partner, or I'm curious about how love marriage works, or how marriage works in a particular way. So I remember my college days where you used to see a lot of pretty and very beautiful, attractive girls of your own age, and naturally you have an inclination that you want to be into a relationship. That's really an awesome thing that happens in that age. Everyone enjoys that phase, and I would say that is one of the most exciting and beautiful period of your life that everybody wants to enjoy. And in that, there was a strong conditioning that came from the society I live in, the country I live in, that somehow love marriages is not really acceptable. Or maybe if you want to get married, the ultimate goal of a relationship is that. So what used to happen with me or with most of my friends from that era or that age group or in that period, fantasize that, is this someone who is eligible for me in terms of a marriage, or is this someone who is good for me in terms of a long-term relationship, but that long-term relationship is always visualized as a marriage. And many of the time that used to be a confusing period, because relationships and marriage are two different things, and you cannot mix both and see that you have the same results. That's why you would see that many people are confused about it, and they get into a relationship, they feel that this or that person is actually right for them, and within the period of 6 to 7 months of their marriage, they come to know that this is not what they thought it would be, or this is not what they expected. And that is the basis of a very bad habit. I'm going to touch more on that. I will help you to understand one more example. I see a lot of posts on about astrology on Facebook, on Google, and most of them, they put a lot of AdWords on Facebook. And whenever you see the Facebook ads, there will be ads about numerology, astrology, or maybe psychic ads. It's one of the great medium. If you're confused in life, I would not say anything that it won't work or it is not something that you shouldn't go for. Everyone has their own choices, own belief system, and in this life everything is mysterious. So whatever works for you, it works for. It might not work for everyone. So it's a free will kind of a thing. But when I read the comments sometimes, and just as out of curiosity, I see people putting their birth dates, or maybe they want to know whether they will have a love marriage or they will have an arranged marriage, how many relationship they would get into, and the overall focus is about setting up your goals in terms of certain conditioning into a mind. Like, for example, if I see How I Met Your Mother, sometimes I used to see my character as Ted. Sometimes I used to feel that I'm a Marshall. Sometimes, I used to feel that I'm a Barney. And all the three characters are very different from each other. And when you see yourself not getting benefited from one role, you get thoroughly confused, and you try to see that what he did in that situation is right, and maybe that is something that I want to do. But in the whole context, we forget that it's a scripted act. It is something derived from a real life, but not necessary. It will be taken in a way of life solutions. Another example would be like, we see a lot of web series on on TV, and we see there are a lot of relationship issues that is coming up, and somebody is taking a very or somebody's going for a very abstract kind of a solution, and we feel that this is something that works into a real life as well. But real life is very different from what you see from these scripted sitcoms or sitcom web series. Somehow they are prepared in a way which will tap your subconscious uncertainties, like fear, always craving for a recognition, a craving for boosting of your ego, or maybe liked by everyone. And you are always the trail of this whole sitcom environment is followed by the social medium, because we tend to follow the people that we like from that world, and we see that how they are living into the real life, and how the real life is actually helping them to shape their success, to shape their love lives, to shape their overall prestige in society. And somehow we want to do that same thing. It's a natural effect. Even I felt at many a times that I want to be like that person. He's so successful and he's so great. But that is a very great thing to follow, because now you have a blueprint of someone who has achieved so much in their life that they're helping others. That's amazing. That's one of the greatest things that anyone can do. And people are doing that. I always honor that. But my question is, our mind is very, very smart and very, very cunning, because they always want to focus on the things that you want to focus. Not like, for example, if you're seeing a movie, you'll always relate with things that is close to your own experience, or that is kind of touching to your emotional memory experience. When I say that emotional memory experience, it means basically it is helping you to retrieve or maybe get a memory from your subconscious mind and try to make you emotionally, awaken that this resonates with my own experience. And everyone has experience in terms of fear, in terms of uncertainty, in terms of emotional issues, relationship issues, in terms of financial insecurity, not getting enough guidance at times. And this is something that is universal. You speak with anyone, even if you speak to a stranger on a road, you ask them about like this 4 to 5 things, he or she will be able to tell you that they are going through the exact same thing that you're going through, but in a different situation, different environment. And that is what these web series, these movies actually do. They want to make you feel insecure about your own self. They want to show you that this is the better way. A love marriage is a better way, or maybe an arranged marriage is a better way. Some movies will focus on arranged marriage, some movies will focus on love marriage, some movies will focus on everything is worthless. And you will take out the information that is appropriate for you in that particular moment or that particular phase of your life. So for example, if you see the movies from 80s, the Bollywood movies, or maybe 17 or 60s, those were more focused on the morals of the society, the arranged marriage part of the society, as well as how a woman is treated, should work into a society at that point of time. But a lot of has changed into 2020, or maybe this whole decade, that women is having more freedom now. They are getting conscious that they don't have to get looked down by someone, or they can be independent, and that is what everyone wants. I guess that is one of the best things that has happened in our generations, that everyone is waking up and understanding that they have their inner power to get on anything in their life. They can do it. It is not like you need an approval of someone to do it. So that is one of the best things that has happened. But it also came with a lot of unbiased or biased realizations, that if I'm successful, I want to have a relationship that is on that level. If I will be happy if I get a partner who is understanding, who is macho, or maybe who is very, very physically attractive, or someone who has a lot of money. And it applies to both genders, not only one. And in that whole scenario of expectations, that I want this, I want that, I want to have this, you tend to forget one thing, that it will be only achieved when you are at the same level. So for example, I have a client, and that client wants to get married. Unfortunately, that client is having a lot of anxiety issues, and that client always says that I want to get married, I want to have a love marriage, but I want someone who can take care of me, someone who has a lot of money, someone who is wealthy, healthy, and at the same time very understanding. But I fail to see that you have these expectations, but what about that person when he looks from your perspective? When that person reverses reaction and sees you, that I admire you, I admire your requirements in the relationship, but are you matching me on the same level? Because I want the same things that you are expecting. And this becomes a game, that I do not have a peace of mind, I do not have love in me, I do not know how to manage my own life, I don't know how to manage money, you do it for me. And that person says, I want to have a relationship that is out of the world, I want to travel all the time, I want someone who is into fitness, I want someone who is into meditation, I want someone who has a lot of money. And there is not a matchmaking. That is, you're looking out for expectation matching, and that is never gonna work, because no one can eat only one chip, right? You have a potato chip, no one can eat just one. Everyone has tons of expectations, tons of biases, and tons of self-limiting beliefs. That becomes a bad habit. Your self-limiting beliefs, your lack of self-actualization, your lack of self-knowledge. Shocking, isn't it? If you think that someone else will love me, someone else will make money for me, someone else will take charge of your life, and you stay the same, my dear friends, you're up for a treat. Life is going to teach you a lot of valuable lessons, and I can guarantee you that they are going to come in the form of pain and suffering. So how it is connected with marriage? Marriage is something that is a very important aspect of our life, because you get fulfilled by love, relationship, warmth, and an opportunity to spend your entire life with someone who you can love, admire, take care of. And when you start your journey with the biases, with an expectation that that person is going to help me, that person is going to love me, and that person is going to do everything for me that what I expect. It is a wrong start of life. Trust me, it's a wrong start of a relationship. When you have a bad habit that I'm perfect, you should accept me the way I am. You should care about my inner beauty. You shouldn't care about my prestige, my bad habits, my self-limiting beliefs, my anxiety, my hypertensions, my anger at times, and my preferences, and love me unconditionally. You're hoping for something that is very rare, very, very rare. Because if we go with the theory that this is only one life, no one is going to waste time on you, and you don't want anyone to stick to you who is not good for you. So what is the bad habit over here? The bad habit is not making efforts to go for something that you really want, especially into a relationship. Taking a review, understanding how other people have gone through it is one way. But apart from that, you need to have your own consciousness to feel that whether I like someone because that person is completely opposite of me, or someone who is just like me. Trust me, when people say that you should always marry or you should be into a relationship who's completely opposite of you, that is a very big BS. No, you should always go for someone who's like you, who can understand you, who can have a good stress bearing capacity. But at the same time, you have to know your own limits as well. You have to know your own personality as well. Not like a borrowed one, not like someone who is influenced from Instagram and from Facebook and from especially movies. No, you're not Ted Mosby, you're you. Ted Mosby is just one part of your life that comes into bits and pieces in terms of your memory. But that doesn't make you that character. Whomsoever you follow also has a lot of issues in their personal life, but they choose not to reveal it. But that doesn't mean that it's not there. There's not a single person who doesn't have these issues. But we are into an act of denial. Another bad habit, denial. It's not with me. It's happening with my friends. It will happen with my friends. It will happen with my colleagues, co-workers. Not me. I'm perfect. Guys, if you think this video is making sense to you, adding value to your knowledge, a little bit of awareness, hit a like button, subscribe to my channel. Thank you again for watching this video, and a tiny opportunity to me to open a very big door in your life for transformation. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.